Right, hello guys. It's been a while, several months at least now, a couple of months I should think, since I've done my last video. Purely and simply because, you know, I've been busy doing one thing and another. You know, fishing takes over at times and don't allow you to do much around the house and that. Often, you know, in the back garden it was like a minefield, and yeah, I'm getting on top of that, and done a little patio out there and shed base and what have you. But yeah, I mean, you know what we're on now. We're at the start of April. We're on Sunday morning of the first bank holiday of the year, and I'm just getting ready to go and do an overnighter. Not chasing big carp this time, just getting out with a friend of mine, Lloyd. We're going to go and do an overnighter on local club lake, and yeah, just, you know, all I can wish for is a few bites really. The fish go up to just over £30, with the majority of them being low to upper doubles with the odd 20 here and there. Yeah, I thought I'd do you know, just a bit of a chat on how I'm going to approach it. And you know, a lot of you asked me for a rig chat. Well, we haven't had that because I've been a bit too busy doing one thing and another. So right, yeah, rigs. On this session I'm going to use 2 or 3 different rigs, I should think. The Slip D rig's one of my favourite rigs. You can use it out of any sort of coated braid that you generally would use. Just I always strip all the coating off. And you know, from experience, the best hook to use on a Slip D rig is a curve shank. Let's put it against the cupboards there so you can see. Curve shank hook. Yeah, on there is a hook bait swivel. It's got a big eye on one end. It's a micro swivel, but it's got a big eye on one end. It just allows for more movement up and down the D, like so, you know. And again, best works with, you know, critically balanced baits, wafters. You know, you can put half a bottom bait on, tip with, you know, quarter of a pop up, get it critically balanced, so it's literally you want your hook laying like that, flat, but with your hook bait hovering above it like that, nice and critically balanced. It'll take all the weight out of the hook when it gets sucked in. So yeah, you know, the more critical it is, the less obvious it is there's a hook on there, and the more it go back in their mouths and give you a good hook hold. It makes it a lot harder for them to get rid of the further it goes back in. So, but again, you know, there's a barrel wafter on that. You can have it, you know, on its side that way round. You know, like I say, array of different rigs, but mainly critically balanced baits like wafters. I use on that rig. You fake corn, you know, single grain of fake corn works really well on that rig. And 2 grains, you know, you can balance it out, or grain and a half. I've worked out it's really good on that. But yeah, I'll show you how to tie it, and then we'll go through how I'm going to approach this coming session. Like I say, it's only going to be a 24-hour session. Just nice to get out after a bit of hard work around the house and stuff. So, right, like I say, whatever coated braid you use. I mean, at the moment I've got using the N-Trap soft. I use the N-Trap semi-stiff these days a lot, cooler, because I like the reverse combi rig. It's one of my favourites, but I use it with a twist. I don't put the putty on the knot, because it sits there like a telegraph pole, and I don't like that. No, I'll put a shot in the break in it, but we'll go into that another day. I'll show you that rig, and believe me, that should put you a few fish on the bank. That's caught me a lot of big fish, that one. But anyway, right, what you need for this is obviously your stripped back coated braid, your curve shank hook, and what you do, right, slide it all the way down. Obviously you always want it going on like that. So what you do is you form a loop on the other end of the braid, a big loop like so. You just double it back over. You're holding the hook like that, you double it back over, push it into the eye of the hook, and then pinch them together and crush that bit down to allow it easy to put your hook bait swivel or your micro swivel, whatever you know you want to call it. And then this is the avid version of the swivels. There you go, the big eyes going on there, like so. So we can get against the cupboard, you can see it better there, like that. Yeah, right. Then what you do, the loop, is you open the loop up a little bit, and then sliding the swivel up out the way, you literally open the loop up and get it over the hook, like so. I'll show you that in a second. Right, there you go. You see your loop's gone onto the hook. Let's put it against the cupboard again, you might be able to see it easy. There you go, turn it slightly. There you go. Right, now what you do, you grab the very end of it on the shank and pull it down. Literally pull it all the way back to roughly where you want it. Now I like this, so it's about in line with the barb. You want the slip D, so it's about in line with the barb. Don't worry, I'm all hands, giant hands, so there you go. Right, here we go. That's it. So there you can see, just like so, the movement there. Look, it goes up to about just below the barb there, in line. But right, all you do, pinch that there. What I tend to do is you literally, it's a knotless knot, so you literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Snip that off like so, that little tag end, and then you literally blob that little bit there, just with a lighter, just so you got a nice little blob there in the eye of the hook. Then obviously you pass it back through so it comes out the point side, like so. Tighten it all down, like that. Literally, it is simple. And there you go. There's the finished article there. So, yeah, and then literally the best knot you can use on this, you know, especially for the, you know, I tend to use swivels sometimes, and you know, I'm going to start using the quick change, especially like somewhere like the club lake I'm going now, where the bites can come thick and fast if you're on them. I'm going to be using the quick change. You know, I tend to not steer away from the quick change. I don't want anything that I feel that, especially fishing for big fish like I do a lot of the time, I don't want any risks of anything, you know, breaking. I know they probably don't, you know, I haven't used the quick change enough to know, but the less knots, loops and sort of connections I can have, the better for me, really. Right, so literally figure of 8 loop knot, so you can usually literally loop it onto the quick change swivel. So literally, I don't know if you can see this because I'm all hands, but right, you literally make the loop, tucking it back behind the loop you've created. Yeah, and then you're going round your thumb side to tuck it back through the hole you've created. Very finicky with fingers like mine. What you can do with this, if you've got fingers like mine, is I'm trying to show it for you guys, but you can use, there you go. Right, and if I show you there, you can see the figure of 8 in that. Yeah. You know, if you can't see it because my hands are too big and his fingers are getting away, just there's plenty of clips on YouTube that show you how to do the figure of 8 loop knot. But yeah, literally hold it like that, put it all down. Always wet it. You don't want the friction weakening it. And then literally get some sort of pulling tool, baiting needle, anything like that. I've had this pulling tool for years. Good old Drennan. Literally just put it tight like that. There you go, nice and neat, lovely. Snip the tag end off and you've got your loop. you've got your loops to go straight on your quick change. So yeah, like I say, use all different types of wafters and that on this rig. Fake corn. Don't know why I'm using that, just they're blunt, but there you go, it's cut it anyway. Right, so yeah, there you go, there's the finished article. I tend to use them in around about 6 inches. But remember, you know, your bait is right against the hook on this rig, so there's no need to, you know, allow for that hair, because there ain't one. So, you know, when they suck that in, it's going to go straight in. You don't have to allow because you've got, you know, an inch long hair or whatever. You haven't got to allow for that. So, generally around about 6 inches I use. Yeah, so there you go. There's the finished article. That's what it looks like. Always works better in conjunction with a PVA bag slid down over the rig, down onto the hook, because it's braid. Obviously, it's you know, prone to tangles. So yeah, I always use it in conjunction with a small PVA bag. You know, the presentation out there is going to be perfect that way. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, on this session, like I say, that's the Slip D rig. It's a rig I use a lot. Like I say, there's one of the ones that I put a wafter on earlier. Great rig. Caught me lots of good fish, that. Lots of fish in general, so a real great rig to use. But yeah, on this session, I don't know how busy it is. You see a couple of videos I've done, you know, I think it was scaly bangers and what have you back in, must have been late November time, something like that, October, November, somewhere there. I went down there a couple of times and had plenty of fish. But yeah, you know, things have changed now. It's down to 2 rods. It's come out the winter, it's down to 2 rods, but I should have 3 on the rest, because what I should do is hopefully farm a spot, fish 2 rods on a spot. Then that way you can have loads of rigs ready, bags on, and your 3rd rod can be ready, you know, wrapped up to whatever wraps you're fishing at, whether it be 8, 10, 12, 14, whatever it is. You can have it wrapped up ready to hook a rig on and get it back in action straight away while the fish is in the net. Like I say, this time of year when they're after a bit of grub, the bites can come thick and fast. Bait wise, gonna be using, well, you know, the Slip 2 rig and probably yeah, the Ronnie rig probably. Yeah, the spinner rig, Ronnie rig, whatever you want to call it. It's I'll probably be using that to pop up, small pop up on one, Slip D on the other. See how we go. If there's noticeably bites coming more on one, then I should switch them both to that. But it's going to be just fishing over hemp, corn, half baits, crumb. You know, just try and bring all the fish to the party. Try and get the carp in, really. There will be, you know, a few pellets in that in the mix as well. Yeah, we'll have to see where we get. Like I say, I've got no clue. Although it's very, very close to my house, it's within about a mile and a half, I think. Mile and a half. I don't know how many anglers are on, but yeah, all I want to do is sort of get away for a night. I will film it, you know. I'll film the action, or as much of it as I can, and yeah, we'll see you on the bank, and fingers crossed we'll have a few. See you in a bit, guys. Well, here we are, old ballast pit, 24 hours ahead. Let's see what we can do. The old noisy train going by. Let's go and find a swim. Well guys, we're in position. As you can see by the last clip, I've just been around there putting some bait in. Yeah, and I see about 10 staggered about along that margin. The 3 was around a marker float, believe it or not, so yeah, fingers crossed. It's looking good. We just have to see now, hurry up and get some rods sorted out and in position, get that marker float wound in, and yeah, get them on the dance floor and see what happens. Catch up in a bit. There it is, guys and girls. Just a simple slip D rig with an ASM wafter on, little bag of ASM crumb, obviously fish live what I've put out, which is hemp, sweet corn, lots of boilie crumb, and lots of pellets, different size, shapes and flavours of pellets. And like I say, they was over there, so fingers crossed it won't take too long. We shall see. Get this wrapped up to 14.5 and get it out there. Well guys, rods are on the dance floor, 14.5 wraps across the other side. Yeah, it's quite interesting when I went round there. There's certainly sunbathing. There was a few on the top around the marker float, and a few staggered about along the margin. So rods have been out probably 10 minutes, quarter of an hour now. One on a spinner rig and one on the slip D. So yeah, we'll see which one brings a bite. It's be interested. I'm going to ping. The wind's more or less blowing across the lake, so I'll keep pinging the odd mixer out because I know they're up in the layers, some of them. So yeah, might see if I can get them going on the top as well. See if we can find an opportunity there. But it's early doors. Yeah, looking good though. Fish in the area. Noticeably liking it because I didn't see any left and I didn't see any further right, so they were there or thereabouts in the zone. So fingers crossed it won't take too long. Get organised in a minute. It's like a bomb's gone off at the moment. Everything everywhere. The main thing is the rods are out, so yeah, we should sit back and see what happens. Well guys, a couple of hours in and there's one in the net. Nice little mirror. That'll do nicely. Well guys, after seeing them round there on the top, put a bit of bait right over them, I did wonder if I'd spook them out for a bit, and clearly I did, but we're a couple of hours in now and we've managed a little fat one. That'll do nicely. Yeah, the sun's shining on us, and there's the first one. Happy days, spin her around. Cracking little linear. Good time, just get her back, get the rod back out there. Well, we waited a couple of hours for a bite. Now we've got no rods in the water because there's another one in the net. So quickly going to get this rod sorted out and get that back on the spot, and then we'll sort that one out. Nothing big, but it's a good bit of fun. You can't expect anything big in here because they go up to about 30 pound, and that's a real bonus fish. So, but it's all about getting bites when you come on here, so happy days. Here we go guys, one for the future. Little tiny scaly one. Right, let's get her back, get her on back on the dance floor. Well guys, that was a result. This time now, I think it's about 4 o'clock now, something like that. Yeah, must have had a shoal come over us briefly. Both rods wiped out. Biggest one was probably mid to upper double, but yeah, it's the thing in here, there's a lot of small ones in here. Just keep wading through them to find the 20. But like I say, it's good to come out and get a few bites. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of video work lately, as I was saying, but yeah, I did get out twice
done 2 day sessions, one after another, during this last lockdown, to no avail. Sadly, I couldn't get near the fish. I know where they are on the park this time of year, and if you can't get there, you pretty much got bob hope, no hope, to be honest with you. But yeah, and then on the 29th, when it all opened back up, I was lucky enough to get myself booked in on Alfred's West End, and yeah, sadly, couldn't get one. They were showing signs that they were waking up. They were coming out to the wrist of their tails and proper dancing about, but they were more involved in that than actually feeding. But yeah, we work, you know, me and my mate Cheddar, we work together as a team when we do get to go, and we made a couple of changes for him and bought him a bite. He had a nice one of 34, so that was a result, nice way to end after watching them leaping and crashing all over us for a couple of days. But yeah, I'm here now just for the night, as I've said, and in a week's time I should do a bit of filming. I'm going down to North Lake with some friends. Yeah, and we'll see how we get on. Got 5 nights I think we've got down there, so I'm looking forward to that. That'll come after 4 days back at work. Yeah, so yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to the rest of this session. Hopefully we can work our way through them and yeah, get ourselves an half decent one. Time will tell. Catch up in a bit. Right, rig while it's full. Soon time to reel in and go and rebait up round the other side. Ready for the night. Well guys, right result, fish number 3. Guest appearance by grass carp. I'm not a lover of these, but this one's well behaved because he's a little bit buckled up. Just over 20 pound. Oh. I think if he was normal, he'd be a right clown, but he's quite well behaved. We'll take that. Let's get it back, have another go. Well, good evening all. It's about 10 past 10 now in the evening of my overnight. Yeah, 3 fish now and a bream. But yeah, it's funny how, you know, I seem to get bites just not long after putting bait out. So I've just been round with a scoop and put a third of a bucket out. So hopefully that'll buy me some more bites during the night. But yeah, no, I feel quite fortunate in the fact that I've had 3 bites, because I think there's 7 or 8 on tonight, and yeah, I'm the only one to have any bites so far. So hopefully by topping the spot up, something else will occur by morning. If anything does occur during the night, I'll keep you updated. See you in a bit. Here we go guys, fish number 4. Probably around about 17, something like that. But yeah, another one. An hour after I had a bream. Very little sleep so far, but we get this one back and get right on the dance floor and yeah, see if we can have any more. Happy days. Morning all. Well, what a change of day brings. Quite chilly this morning. Relatively quiet night. 1 bream, 1 carp. Yeah. So I'm going to be off earlier than thought today, so this could be the end of the video, but it's good to get back out. Do a quick night. As I got back. Well guys, that's it. Just over 20 hours fishing. And yeah, it's just a touch of night. Well mates, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, think about subscribing. Next one I would think would be a video. We've got a week's session, me and a few mates on the North Lake coming up. So yeah, join us on that, and we'll see how things go. Top lines, everyone.